What's up, everybody? Welcome back to High Temp Gaming. Got an incredible build for today's episode, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. We have a fun little build that we're doing. I'm doing it for a buddy of mine in Orlando. He called me, he said he wanted a really nice PC. He was looking at some pre-builds, and I said, hey, why don't we build you one? And he said, sure. And he kind of told me what he wanted to do. He wanted to play really good, he wanted to play some games with really good graphics, have high frames, and possibly doing some editing and some rendering. And I said, well, we should definitely build something that has really good graphics card and really good processing power in the back end. So we went with a $2,000 build. And in this particular build, I'm gonna go over the parts real quick, and we're gonna put it together and we're gonna benchmark it. So for this build, we're going with the RYZEN 7 3700X, which is an 8-core 16 thread. It's 3.9 gigahertz with a max boost of 4.5 gigahertz, which is really nice. Overkill for processing power, but way more than he really needs, right? But ideally, it's something that he could have for a lot of years to come, and he can continue to build up on it. But it's super nice processor. Graphics card, we went with the RTX 2080 Super. So I'm really excited to do this build because I know he's gonna get all the graphics and more that he really needs. I'm a big fan of NVIDIA, and I'm a big fan of the 20 series cards. I had a lot of fun building with the 2060, and I'm just looking forward to doing the 2080 build now and see just the performance we're gonna get from it. Yes, we could have opted in for a 2080 Ti, but you're looking at a $400 difference there, and would have bumped the budget up from $2,000 to $2,400. And I really didn't want to sacrifice, I really didn't want to add an extra $400 to the build where it's not needed. For me, I'm a big proponent of price to performance. So if we look at it, are we getting a 20% increase in performance or a 25% increase in performance to justify, the difference of $400 or $500? And I don't really think we are. So in that particular case, we just opted to go with the 2080, which is a really nice card, and we're going to get a ton of frames and super smooth playability with it. So that's why I went with this one. We're gonna water cool it with an all-in-one water cooler with next, the Kraken M22 with an infinity mirror. We're gonna be going with a 1 terabyte NVMe from Western Digital for the RAM. We've got 16 gigs of Vengeance Pro with RGB lighting, 3600 megahertz. I chose them because super high speeds, really good RAM, and they're not too expensive considering what you can really spend on RAM out there, right? They're really good price per performance. It's really good, and I like Vengeance. Corsair does great stuff. For the lights inside, I opted out of going with the AR by Next, only because then you need a hub, so an additional $100. And we went the up here fans that you can manually control the controller. They're like, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks. And you get 3 of them inside of it. We're only gonna be able to fit 2 for the most part, but it's gonna be able to manually control it. Yes, we won't be able to pair it with the cam software, but we're gonna be able to manually control it, so whenever he wants to change his colors on cam, if he wants to, then he can just change the colors with his control on up here, and you save a ton of money going that route. For the motherboard, we went with the X570 with Wi-Fi. What can I say? MSI is MSI, right? Everybody knows they're an incredible, reputable brand, and definitely holds a lot of overclock if we need to, and it's really good to have Wi-Fi. It's a little bit more money. You could definitely opt and go with the one without Wi-Fi and save a ton of money, and maybe get more RAM or bigger hard drive if you want, or use that difference to buy the AR fan, right? But whatever you want to do doesn't matter. We went with that motherboard. He needs Wi-Fi in his house because the router's in a different part of the room, so we went with this motherboard because it has the Wi-Fi in it. We went with the Thermaltake GF1 for the power supply, non-modular, so we have all the access that we need and not a whole bunch of cables around, right? Because it sucks working with modular power supplies because you have all these extra cables that you never use, right? So we went with this one because we're only going to use the cables that we need, put the rest away in case in the future he wants to add another SSD in there, or possibly a hard drive, which I don't know why you'd add a mechanical hard drive to a PC like this, but you need all the space, then those are definitely the cheapest route to go. And I think that about covers it. Oh, all paired inside with the red and black H510 by Next, my favorite case company to work with. It's super easy to work with them. They give you a lot of access and just a lot of customization options that you can do in these. So that's why I like working with Next. A lot of the nicer builds I always feature the Next cases with them. Because again, they're easier to work with, really clean cable management in the back, and just lets you just expand inside of it in the future if you want to. So with that said, guys, I think I've covered all the parts just about. I'm gonna go ahead and put this bad boy together. We're gonna fire it up, and we're gonna give you guys some benchmarks. See you in a little bit. All right, guys, so I've got this thing pretty much set up and built. Look how amazing that looks. And I'm about to go ahead and run some benchmarks on it right now and see how it games. I'm super excited about it. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and run Valley benchmark. I'm having trouble with my OBS. I played a couple games already, and the OBS is just not giving it, I don't have it set up the way it needs to be. But I'm not gonna mess around with it. You guys, I'll give you guys some gameplay, and then we'll I'll give you guys the benchmarks as it is. So I'm gonna turn these off here, just because it has the frames up here on the right, in the top right, and I'm gonna go ahead and start this benchmark, and we're gonna test it out, and I'll catch you guys in a little bit. So it's currently testing Valley right now. I have it all set up on its highest settings. You can see here. Getting high 190s, low 2s, 100 for the frames. This 2080 Super is just incredible, guys. I'll tell you that much. I like it. It's a really good card. Right now, so far, max FPS is 256. And it's almost done. It's almost complete. So once it's finished, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the results of it, and we're gonna go ahead and run a Cinebench on it, Fire Strike, and we should be good to go. All right, guys, here's what we got. So keep in mind, I had everything on its highest settings that we can run on. I got a score of 5384 with max FPS at 256 and minimum at 38. Averaging about 128.7 on this on Extreme HD. So I'm going to say this. We'll take it. That's an incredible, incredible graphics card there. And Valley's designed to kind of push those graphics to its, as hard as it can. So I like the score on it. I'm going to go ahead and run Fire Strike. Let's see what we get on Fire Strike, and then we're going to go ahead and load up some games. This is also the benchmark I like to run. It gives you a good idea of what you're playing with. I'm going to go ahead and run it, and then Cinebench, and then some games. All right, here we go. So we got a graphics score of 10,933, time spot score of 10,795. Overall, I'm excited about this GPU. Graphics came out, the testing came out really good on it. And of course, this is a build that you could take and you could, I mean, you could overclock it if you want, you know, and get more results on it. I mean, ideally on the graphics test here, you could, this doesn't really jump up too much with overclock, believe it or not. It takes a lot to jump your test 1 and test 2 points up. But overall, you could definitely overclock your build. To be honest, this is a build that if someone bought it, I'd tell them don't overclock it. You can. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying not to, but I wouldn't recommend, you know, if you're gonna pay $2,000 on a build, you don't have to overclock, because, you know, in games, if you're getting 150 frames or higher, you know, you're killing it, right? And then you got to keep in mind too, if you're playing a game that you're getting 150 frames or more, then you got to make sure you have the right monitor, right? Because if you have a monitor, let's say that only has 120 hertz or 144 hertz, then when you enable VSync, you're not going to get past that 144 hertz, right? 144 frames, because it's going to match your monitor output. So you got to keep that in mind too. So whenever you're running these builds, and you really want to push that GPU, I'd definitely consider getting yourself a really nice monitor, because it's definitely going to, everything matters, right? When it comes to gameplay, with a build that you can get over 150 frames per second. So just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and run a Cinebench test here. You can see here, this is what we're testing, the Ryzen 7 3800X with the 2080 Super inside of it. So 16 gigs of RAM, 3600, clocked at 3600 megahertz. And we're gonna go ahead and run this Cinebench test and see what happens. So I'll tell you this, guys, this is, I'm doing it off my camera on my screen because I'm having issues with OBS. Hopefully for the gameplay, I can figure it out, but OBS is just causing some issues for me right now. But hopefully I can figure out and get it going. So we're gonna go ahead and run it and just see what we get on the score on Cinebench. Just incredible. Look how fast this thing's moving. You can see how good this build really is when you see it just rendering so fast. Just incredible processor inside of this build. Overall, I'm pleased with the build. I've tested some games on it already. I've gotten, you know, as high as 200 frames, a little higher. I think I got like 212 in Overwatch, 218. You know, I was getting, you know, about 140, 130 on Shadow Tomb Raider. Doom, I was pushing over 200 frames as well. Probably averaging around like 170. But this overall, it's an incredible build. Super powerful, very fast. If you guys want to build something, you have a $2,000 budget and you want to build, this is definitely something I recommend getting. All right, and that's it. Our CPU Cinebench score 4966. Awesome. Right under the Threadripper, the Intel Xeon Platinum, and the i7 4890.
I got something. Where? Hey, are we getting those lights up or what?
I'm never gonna get them working if you keep pestering me. What's the damn hurry all of a sudden?
Rourke said Croft's coming through here.
God damn it. All right, I'm hurrying. Here we go.
You better be back in a few minutes.
I don't like this.
Fan out, stay sharp. Watch her for sweep. Maybe there. Eyes on top, but stay visible. I'm empty. We better investigate. Hostile exit engagement. Currently searching.
Nobody there.
We're taking casualties! Really? You're being ridiculous!
Fuck. Might as well keep running then. taking casualties. Got a...
You see anyone? If I did, I'd be shooting. Something suspicious.
After running diagnostics on the Praetor suit, it appears that I can activate optional challenges that, when completed, will assist in upgrading your arsenal at an accelerated pace. I have added a tracking component to your dossier.
Main power offline. All entrances not operational.
I believe in honesty, especially now, in what will be your final moments in this world. All the moments. My sisters and brothers return. Will have a seat alongside themselves.
Demonic presence at unsafe level. Demonic presence eliminated. Lockdown disengaged.
Traveling to Havana. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
too much chance of surviving.
Splashdown.
Stay in range of my barriers. For your own safety, get behind the barrier. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the pain.
Excuse me for diving in.
Regen up!
This will protect us.
Enemy contact! Barely set.
Cease your resistance.
Regen up!
Team up for special attack.
Seconds remaining.
Our enemy's located. Enemy turret located.
Enemy turret neutralized.
Victory. Play of the game. Epic.
Job well done.
All right, everybody, thanks for watching the video. Just wanted to say that I'm super excited. I know my friend's gonna have an incredible time gaming on it. I sure did. So I'm just gonna say, if you guys have a $2,000 budget and you want something that's gonna give you incredible graphics, incredible playability, something that you can stream, record, play all at the same time, then I definitely say go ahead and make yourself this build. I mean, I think in total parts were about $2,000. It wasn't too bad when you consider everything that's inside of it. You have an all-in-one water cooler, RYZEN 7 3800X, a 2080 Super, 16 gigs of Corsair RAM, 3600 megahertz, and just all in all, it's just packed inside of a beautiful case. So you can see, if I were to change anything about it, I'd probably get some custom sleeves for it, but that's really it. If you guys want to enhance in the future, you can get the AER fans and get the next hub with it, but it's definitely not needed because you can save the money on those fans. You know, you would need 3 of them. You know, let's just call it $30-40 a piece, 120 in the hub, which is like $70. $220, you could actually stick another 1 terabyte M.2 inside of here, really. So I'd save the money. These fans work perfectly fine. You can customize the infinity mirror as well. So, guys, that's all I have for today's build. I hope you guys enjoyed. Do me a big favor, please. If you're new to the channel, if it's your first time watching, or if it's not, you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. And if you can give this video a couple likes, I'd really appreciate that too. Until the next one, guys, see you.